You are now listening to WXRWLP Milwaukee on 104.1 FM and on RiverWestRadio.com. You can now tell your smart speaker, hey, play River West Radio.
Our veterans don't want to go to the private sector. You have more veterans that want to come to the VA, that are appreciative of the care at the VA, and it's more than just medical care. It's hey, you know, by the way, did you know that you would be eligible for a loan, for a house loan, or hey, let's look at.
What the problem is now, you don't recognize that you have both physical and spiritual
already blessed to you, and the energy that's already here for you.
Marcus, you put me on here. I think you got a great show. I think you got very smart viewers out there that really appreciate the content you put out there. So I greatly appreciate you taking the time to put me on your show. I would really have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun every time.
All these quote-unquote laws and rules, be able to do that freely and be who you truly are and was created to be.
Now listen to the Transform You Live Show. For more information, visit TransformUBroadcast.com. That's Transform the letter U Broadcast.com.
Now it's time to get locked for the Transform You Live Show, the only show that combines spirituality with business and personal development. The only show in the universe where you can make a real transformation in your life. Now get prepared for your host, Dr. Marcus Hart. Hello, my people. We are back again for another amazing show. This is the Transform You Live Show. You are now listening to WXRW LP 104.1 Milwaukee. If you are listening and tuned in to the podcast, to the radio station, the actual radio station, if you got your dial tuned to that station. If you are on SoundCloud, you will be on my SoundCloud. You wouldn't exactly be on the WXRW SoundCloud because I won't be there. You may be replaying this back on RiverWestRadio.com/shows. Scroll down to Transform You. You might see it there. Or you could be on my personal podcast, or you could be watching me, literally watching me on YouTube right about now. But this is the only show where you can make real transformation in your life, where we focus on productivity and conscious living. That's right. All those strategies you need to be more productive, to be better at time management, to be just conscious in your overall lifestyle so that you can have some true success, so you can really save some money, so you can really build some wealth, so you can really save some time. And if you got time, you can do all the fun things in the world you want to do. That's what I help you do. I am Dr. Marcus Hart, your host, if I didn't say it already, or if you didn't hear it in the beginning. Like I said, we are broadcasting right now in many different ways, many different forms. If you're not on YouTube and you want to head over there and you want to see what I look like and replay this back over and over and over again, just simply go to youtube.com/ would it be C/Marcus Hart, or just go to YouTube, search Marcus Hart, look for the pretty face, the baby face, of course. That's me. And then scroll down, play all my videos, listen to it as many times as you want to. Another easy way would be to just simply go to TransformUBroadcast.com. That's Transform the letter U Broadcast.com. And I mentioned it already, RiverWestRadio.com /shows. Go to Transform You Live Show and you will find everything you need. Or you can just hit me directly too. I'm a pretty good and open guy. I'm on Twitter at Real Marcus Hart. So Real Marcus Hart without the E, just like Kevin Hart spells it. Somewhat of a relation somewhere down the line. I'm pretty sure I'm related to the guy. I just never met the guy. So don't ask me about that. I get a lot of that. A lot of people just seems to inquire about just, are you related to Kevin Hart by any chance? I might be a little bit funny. Nah, I am actually funny when you get to know me and when I begin to open up. We got a very amazing show. We're going to be actually continuing back. We're going to get back on track. We had a real awesome guest last week, Susie Shemsky, a rare insider to Maharishi, who was a spiritual guru to the Beatles. I mean, I really enjoyed that show. I'm really in love with the information that she put out. It really makes me want to go back and just really learn more about just the celebrity, minus that, but more on the personal side of many celebrities, which brings me to my attention here today. As yesterday, many of you might not know, but Mac Miller, he's a rapper. He was going out with Ariana Grande before she got recently engaged to the guy from Saturday Night Live. But he passed away due to overdose. And boy, I never really listened to the guy's music until just recently yesterday, and I listened to his latest album, Swimming. Very amazing, very artistic, just good music, good quality music, and being on the radio, I really do appreciate a little bit more just the artistry of a lot of the music that's out, and that was, you know, very trending back in the day. When we talk about the Beatles, when we talk about Aretha Franklin and many greats out there, and if you really just dive in and get behind all of the drama, all of the whole thing that comes with being a celebrity, being in the music game, if you just get behind all of that and drop that and really focus on the artists themselves and the creativity and just the pure focus that they put into their craft, you will begin to see some things that you really didn't see, because you know, you hear it on the radio and you say, oh, okay, well, that's pretty good. You get the bob in your head, oh, a nice beat, you know, but you gotta really sit down and really listen. And I think, well, I know that's one of the biggest issues we have in our culture, just the ability to listen. That's the most powerful part of communication. When we can just really listen to each other, we'll really begin to understand what each other are trying to say and what we're trying to communicate to one each other. Because if we can understand each other better, then we can make real changes to many of the issues that we might come across with people. Okay? But going back to Mac Miller, the guy was very young. The guy was only 26 years old, and he died from an overdose. And like I said, I was listening to the guy's music. He was very heartbroken. The guy was very heartbroken from the breakup, and then just suddenly blowing up and coming across so much money and wealth and celebrity in his life. It became too much from him, and he, I guess, kind of lost sight of just the importance of, if I can say it, me personally, just having a reason to live above and beyond your bedroom demons, because the bedroom is the most intimate place, and that's where you do the most intimate stuff. And to metaphorically translate that over to what I'm saying is that we all have all of these different issues that we hold and bury so deep within us, and sometimes we don't know what to do with all of those emotions, all of those feelings, all of those traumas, all of those those heartbreaks, all of those frustrations and irritations, we don't know what to do with them sometimes, and a lot of times we don't know how to transform them or transmute them into something that can really help us and push us towards the type of success and not just the success part, but the quality of life. If you can just really improve your quality of life, I believe that right there is success. You know, it's not always about the money. The money is good. The money's very good because, yeah, if you got more money, you can do more things. But sometimes, for a lot of people, especially these celebrities, the money is just too much. And sometimes it comes too fast, and then you get very bored very easily because you can buy anything you want. You can go anywhere you want, but then you get bored because, you know, I think for them is the time, because you don't get too much time to really heal yourself or really set the right type of priorities you really want to have. Priorities and how when sometimes for some people they have so much money that they don't have enough time, or for a lot of the average people, they don't have money, so therefore they don't have enough time. Or people don't have any time whatsoever, or they don't know how to manage the time that they have. And then you add on the whole point of not having any money. You got a combination of both of those. You become very stuck, and you lose your focus very quickly. You lose your focus on how you can begin to have a better quality of life and improve your life. That happens a lot. So Mac Miller, I'm going to be doing a sort of bit of a tribute to him, you know, a very miniature tribute, because I want to stay on task and really focus on the series, our 4-part series. As I told you last week when we ended the show, this is going to be a 4-part series, Focus that delivers results. So Focus that delivers results is the 4-part weekly series. We on part 2. The first part was on just the issues with productivity priorities being unorganized, okay, from the get-go. So that's what we talked about in the first series. Today we're going to talk about the importance of setting goals. You know, how to properly set goals, what are they, what to do with them, and how and why you should have them in the first place, okay? That's what we're going to talk about. This is series 2 of Focus that delivers results. We're going to take a quick little break. I'll be right back. Once again, this is WXRW LP 104.1 FM Milwaukee Riverwest Radio. Tell your smart speaker, hey, play Riverwest Radio. Or you might be on YouTube. You are now listening to WXRW LP 104.1 FM Milwaukee. This is the Transform You Live show with your host, Dr. Marcus Hart. For more information, visit transformubroadcast.com. That's transform the letter U broadcast.com. So you can be a part of the only show that make real transformation into the lives of many.
In my own way, this feel like living some alternate reality. I was drowning, but now I'm swimming through stressful waters to relief. And all the things I do.
Okay, my people. Welcome back to the Transform You Live show with your host, Dr. Marcus Hart. You can find me on Twitter at Real Marcus Hart. Visit the website transformubroadcast.com or visit my personal website realmarcushart.com. The best way to, in respects to Riverwest Radio, is riverwestradio.com/shows. Scroll on down to Transform You Live show. And if you are in the neighborhood down there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, down there in the beautiful neighborhood River West, make sure you stop over at 824 East Center Street. 824 East Center Street. Head in there, make a donation, underwrite a show. This show will be a real nice show to underwrite. Keep it going. Help them out. They are really doing some very special things for the community. They really are lifting people up by the book bootstrap, so to speak. and really just making a major impact and allow so many great personalities to be on air and do what they love to do. I really love doing this. I don't know about everybody else, but I love doing what I'm doing, and I am geared and very amped to help others do what they like to do and reach their goals. So stop over there to River West Radio and at East here I'll go get tongue-tied at 824 East Center Street. Get a t-shirt, get CDs or whatever you see in there. Just ask them. Bug Martin if you're in there too. Tell them I sent you. But anyways, we are Focus, which is the series entitled Focus That Delivers Results. This is series 2, so let's get back focused. And today in series 2, we talk about the importance of goal setting, which contributes very heavily to your focus, because we want results, right? But how do you get results if you don't even know what you shooting and aiming for? That's where goal setting comes in, because you got to ask yourself, how do you get yourself to be able to be focused in the first place? How do you become more productive enough to reach goals? That's the reason you got to have goals in the first place, right? How do you begin to save yourself more money and time? A lot of people complain about not having enough money, but they don't realize that their time is jacked up too. Or people got all this time in the world, but they don't know how to properly make proper use of it so that they can increase the money they already have, or really what they should be doing and really be focused on is increasing the overall quality of life. How do you start to feel good about yourself and your intentions? Many people don't feel good about themselves. Many people don't really see the value they have from just simply existing here on earth. That's why we got high suicide rates nowadays. That's why people are doing crazy things in the city of Milwaukee especially. This is why people are overdosing. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. This is why people are just all screwed up and need therapists, need mental health. They need just everything. Everybody just needs a hug, needs some love. You got to start feeling good about yourself. But how do you start to feel good about yourself and your intentions? Because sometimes we regret the things we do afterwards. We get so impulsive or compulsive, doing the same thing over and over and over again, hitting ourselves in the head, in the wall, into the wall. Why? Why? Because we're not setting good goals. We're not even looking to really say, hey, maybe I should set a goal for myself. Matter of fact, what is a goal? What are my goals? All right, set them. Let's talk about it. So many people got questions concerning mindset. We talked about mindset in the first series, the importance of having the right type of mindset in the first place, because some people are just so negative minded. Some people are just absent minded. Some people just really don't have any clue. We talked about alleviating suffering of uncontrolled biological factors in the first series. There's a lot of biological factors that we can really start to just redirect, especially as they come on. These biological factors, okay, you can change them. And when I talk about biological factors, as I look down on the ground, I'm talking about, how's your physical and mental health? How is it? Okay? Do you have the ability to relax? Do you feel overworked? Do you feel overwhelmed? Are you getting proper exercise? Are you having some emotional trouble? Is your diet and nutrition correct? Are you managing your medication, for crying out loud? You got to alleviate the suffering of these biological factors you got. But then you got to resist the urge to get involved in bullcrap distractions that lead to a slow death or utter destruction. Okay? Are you headed for a slow death? Are you headed for utter destruction because you're not addressing the things you should be addressing? You can't even find important mail when you need to find it. You can't even find your social security number. Or that's pretty bad when you can't find your social security number. Yeah. Well, all this identity theft going on, hey, that's pretty scary. You don't know where your wallet is. You don't know where your car keys is. You don't know what time you got to take your daughter or your son to school. These things we got to get these things under control, because we are just setting ourselves up for failure. The fact of the matter is, the more effective skills you have, you can trigger effective, more efficient time management and organization, because that right there will help your life to become better. You're going to have a better life if you can properly take on some skills to trigger efficient time management and organization. So why is goal setting so important in the first place? What it does, first of all, it contributes to unwrapping the true meaning to your life. Hey, what is the true meaning of your life? Most of us can't answer that question. It's sad, okay? We some of us is not even thinking about what the true meaning of our life is. But when you begin to set goals, you begin to unwrap, wow, hey, maybe, just maybe, my whole purpose or meaning in this life is to be a lawyer or something, to help someone. Whatever it may be. You discover a reason to live. Okay, when you set goals, you have a reason to live then, because you don't want to die if you didn't meet a goal that you set about 2 months ago. You want to live as long as you can to meet that goal. And then after that, set another goal, because hey, it's going to keep you living and growing. Okay, you want to make growth. You don't want to stay idle and wait to die, because if you're just sitting there idle and aging, you know, that's not growth. There's a difference between you know, once you become an adult and you just get older. Okay, most people think because they're getting older they're growing. Okay, once you reach full adult age where you're not going to have any growth spurts anymore, you know, the growing then has to happen in your emotions and in your mind. Okay, you got to have the right type of emotions in mind that's going to allow you to grow to your full potential. All right, you give yourself something to find to do each day. When you set goals, you have to do something to meet those goals, right? So you got to look for something to do that's going to contribute to those goals each day. You aim, and then another important reason why you set goals is you aim at something that will reverse an ongoing problem or prevent a catastrophe from happening to you or those around you. Man, I remember, I can think back to just when I had an issue with just living house to house. I became very unstable at one point in my life where I thought like it was the end of the world for me to be able to find a house to live in on my own. But once I set a goal that said, man, I'm going to find me a house. All right, my goal is to find a house in the next couple of months, and so I can move out of my mother's house. Once I set that goal, it reversed the ongoing problem I had from by living from house to house, living with this woman, living with my mom, back to living with this woman, maybe bumping a day or two at my dad's house, at a cousin's house. I had to reverse that problem. That was a cycle that I had to get out of. And once I set a goal to get a house, I was instantly working towards that, and it reversed the problem I had. But like, who knows? I would have had an even bigger catastrophe, which I did have a catastrophe at one time from going house to house. The catastrophe was that I had kids who needed me, who needed a space for them to lay their heads at, because their mother ended up getting into a similar situation and she had nowhere to go. They couldn't stay with me and my mom in my mom's house, my mom's little 1-bedroom house. It was a catastrophe. So I had to make changes real quick. So I set a goal to get a house, and boom, just like that. So I'm going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about short-term goals versus long-term goals. There's a difference between the two, and there's a reason for each one, okay? Which each one has many. There can be multiple goals within the short-term goals. There can be multiple goals in long-term goals. So we'll be right back. Let me take a quick little water break, and let me rest myself. I'm on fire right now, if you can tell. All right, be right back, my people. This is the Transform You Live show. You are now listening to WXRW LP 104.1 FM Milwaukee. This is the Transform You Live show with your host, Dr. Marcus Hart. For more information, visit transformubroadcast.com. That's transform the letter U broadcast.com. So you can be a part of the only show that make real transformation into the lives of many.
In my own way, this feel like living some alternate reality. And I was drowning, but now I'm swimming through stressful waters to relief. And all the things I do, spend a little time in.
Hello, my people. This is Dr. Marcus Hart. This is the Transform You Live show on RiverWestRadio.com. WXRW 104.1 FM Milwaukee. And in case you didn't know, you can turn your smart speaker over and say, hey, play River West Radio or play the Transform You Live show. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like button, share button. Share this over and over and over again. And if you are listening and you don't know about my YouTube, head over there right now and just hit the subscribe button, and so that you can hear this episode back, or you can simply visit this episode. Hopefully it'll be archived on the on riverwestradio.com/shows, and scroll down to Transform You Live show. Hopefully it'll be archived one of these days. I'm having a real hard time right now getting it archived on the riverwestradio.com website, because I just been a little lazy and a little behind, and then the other thing is too, I have not been recording in studio. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood and you was hoping to walk by and be able to wave at me, I'm not there. I'm actually recording from my home studio at this moment right now, but I'm thinking of you. It's beautiful weather out. It's not humid for a change in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. As we proceed to give you what you need, we are talking about the importance of goal setting. And if you just tuned in, this is a weekly series entitled Focus That Delivers Results. This is series 2. You missed out on series 1. Oops a daisy. Sorry for you. Almost sorry for you, but you can go back and listen to that episode whenever you want to, because it is on my YouTube site. There's a couple easy ways to go back and hear either the audio version or watch it on YouTube. So the audio version, go to transformubroadcast.com. That's transform the letter U broadcast.com. Hit on listen, and it's going to give you a full archive of the past episodes, and make sure you check those out. Just very good. Very, very good. Make sure you check it out. You got to. I'm telling you, check it out. It's worth it, because like I said, we're giving you things that's going to help give you some productivity strategies so you can live a more conscious living life. And what does that do? It gives you a better quality of life. That's what we're all about. We're about making real transformation on the Transform You Live show. The importance of goal setting. We asked a couple questions to get it kicked off. We talked about how do you get yourself to focus in the first place? How do you become more productive enough to reach goals? How do you begin to save yourself more time and money? And how do you start to feel good about yourself and your intentions? We talked about mindset. We talked about suffering of uncontrolled biological factors. We talked about resisting urges to involve yourself in crap distractions that either lead to a slow death or other destruction. And then we got to talking about too how, why goal setting is so important in the first place. Now we're going to talk about short-term goals versus long-term goals. Short-term goals. Just think about shorter time, a shorter span of time. It can be a goal for next week. Something you can achieve in a week. It can be something you can achieve in 3 days. It can be something you can achieve just by the end of the day. It can be something you want to achieve in maybe a month. But it's usually months. Okay, usually months. I say no longer than 3 months. I consider a real good short-term goal that's no longer than 3 months and no shorter than a week. You give yourself at least a week to meet a short-term goal. I think that's very good. Or if you give yourself 3 months to meet a short-term goal, that's pretty good. But I think it's very important too that whenever you set any goal, that you review it at least on a weekly basis, and then you want to look at it too at least daily. So short-term goals, let's talk about it. So what is the benefits of a short-term goal? It's that expectation of instant results. Okay, so if you set a short-term goal, say, hey, I just want to lose 2 pounds in a couple of weeks, or 5 pounds, that's something you can really do instantly. You get an instant result from setting a goal. Do you know how good that feels? That feels great. Okay, instant results, something you want to see happen right away. They should be easy too. So short-term goals should be easy, but not so easy that you bore yourself, or that like you put it off. It shouldn't be something so easy that you want to put off. It should be easy, but not easy. It should get you like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to do this. That's how you should be feeling when you set it. Like, I'm looking at this. I see that I want to just save an extra $10 in the next week or so. An extra $10 is actually pretty good. Okay, that's an extra $10 you didn't have. You know, that's great. You know, if you set that type of goal. I mean, but for some, you guys really got to just really put yourself on a scale, and put your emotions, so to speak, on a scale, and really say, well, what's really going to make me feel good, but not scared the living lights out of me, or not bore me so much where I feel like I just keep putting it off. No, it's got to be something that's going to have a real good balance. All right, they have to be motivating. First of all, short-term goals have to be very motivating, because when you set them, they become motivated. They motivate you to really achieve them, to really set your mind to do them. Creating that focus, baby. That's what we're talking about. Focus that delivers results. They should and can and will trigger great habits, because if you are working on something that you're trying to achieve within a month, within a week, within 3 months, you naturally going to create a habit of doing something that's going to contribute to that goal every day or weekly. You know, it might be something you can't do every day to work towards it. It might be something you can do weekly at least. But you know, if you are creating those habits, those little bit of a good habit is going to create bigger and better good habits. All right. Short-term goals, they get you lasered in on erasing small negative details to a bigger issue. Very, very huge. You want to be able to zoom in on what the problem is, and look at the small detail and say, wow, okay, if only I just can do that, this will start chipping away at what the bigger issue is. Or maybe you don't know what the bigger issue is, but you set a small goal, and then as you doing the goal, or as you achieve the goal, you look at it like, wow, okay, I just did that, but this is really the problem is. So it gets you lasered in. They create patience too. So this is the beneficial part to your health and also to your wealth, because as you are working towards that goal, you are building the patience on anticipating seeing it achieve. Okay, you work towards it, you create the patience, because then you are realizing like, okay, I want this to happen in a week, and I accept that it's going to take me a week for it to happen, or I accept that it's going to take a month for it to happen. So you get that patience that you might not have right now. You can keep a promise then too to yourself. You know, short-term goals help you to keep promises to yourself. First of all, it's got to affect you, and then, you know, if for those who are very spiritual, it can help you keep a promise to God. And then if you got other people in your life, which most of us do, you know, maybe you are passively creating a promise and keeping that promise to them, you know, without even actually just putting it out there or or speaking of it. Long-term goals. Let's talk about them long-term goals. Can I get a hey now for long-term goals? So long-term goals, they help you to identify what your overall priorities are. And long-term goals, they're usually something you know, and this is coming from me, something that's 6 months out, 1 year out, or 3 years, 10 years, 20 years. Those things that like are 6 months plus. Okay. And some people will say, well, 6 months is kind of short. Well, no, 6 months is a good amount of time and far enough out to really, set some type of goal. It like a good long-term goal would be, I want to save $10,000 in the next year, or I want to lose a total of 100 pounds within the next 6 months. So that's a good 6 month goal. Or it could be, I want to start a business within the next 6 months, or start a business within the next year, or I want to have a good producing business in the next 3 years. I want to get a better career within the next 6 months, or 4 years after going through college and all of that. Because what they do, like I said, long-term goals, they help you to identify what your overall priorities are. That's huge. Many of us don't know where our priorities lay at. Long-term goals, they help create a culture of what you stand for. Many people don't even know what they stand for. You got to stand for something, or don't stand for nothing at all and fall. That's the saying. That's what I heard somewhere. Or did I just? No, I didn't make that up. It helps you, long-term goals, helps you to identify your passion. Most of us don't know what we're passionate about. But when you set a long-term goal, it starts pointing to what you're truly passionate about. And if you know what you're passionate about, you can create more long-term goals that can either help yourself or the people around you. And it helps you to discover what your higher calling is. For those who are very highly spiritual, most people, but want to know what the higher calling is. Well, the type of long-term goals you set is a real indicator of what your higher calling is. Long-term goals, they can help measure big progress. Okay, if you want to make big progress, and once you make that big progress, you got a lot you done did along that time period, that big waiting period, or that big period of working and waiting at the same time, to measure and say, wow, I've really truly made some big progress here. I went from this all the way up to this, and look at me now. All right. It also helps those unimportant things that may be in your life. You can finally put them in the back seat when you have some long-term goals. It may be relationships that don't make sense. It may be just overall improvement to your health and your wealth. Okay. Now, if you've been dealing with some people who's been like not the best influence, and then you got all these huge long-term goals, you may look at those relationships a little bit different, like, and say, wow, this is not really catering to like what I'm really trying to be in life, or what I'm really trying to create in life. And you may look at your health and your wealth and say, wow, I got this real long-term goal here, and I really need to maintain my health. I really need to start building some wealth. I need to really start having better practices and really doing things that's going to help me to save money and create more money. Or it takes money for my long-term goal to come into prevention. Am I saying the right word? It doesn't matter. But if you let me change that word. If you're trying to have your long-term goal come into reality, and it takes money to make that long-term goal come to reality, you're not going to be spending your money all crazy, right? No, you're not. You're going to spend your money on things that are priorities, that are very closely related to what your long-term goals are. And boy, what it does, it really helps with your intentions. If you don't feel like you've been having the best intentions for yourself or for others, you set some long-term goals, you gonna really see that, like, man, you know, your intentions gotta be pure and honest and from the best place possible. All right, let's take a quick little water break here. I'm going on and on. I'm on fire right now. And when we come back, we're gonna talk about how to create a goal, maybe finish this thing on out. I'm gonna challenge you at the end of this. You are now listening to WXRW 104.1 FM Milwaukee, Riverwoods Radio, riverwoodsradio.com/shows, Transform You Live Show. This is the Transform You Live Show with your host, Dr. Marcus Hart. Yeah, and you may be watching this on YouTube. You may be hearing it on transformubroadcast.com somewhere. It does not matter. Make sure you just listen and tune in. Just share the wealth. Be right back.
Just like Texas shooting sand.
You are now listening to WXRW LP 104.1 FM Milwaukee. This is the Transform You Live Show with your host, Dr. Marcus Hart. For more information, visit transformubroadcast.com. That's transform the letter U broadcast.com. So you can be a part of the only show that make real transformation into the lives of many.
In my own way, this feel like living some alternate reality. And I was drowning, but now I'm swimming through stressful waters to relief. And all the things I do, spend a little time in her.
Hello again, my people. This is Transform You Live Show with your host, Dr. Marcus Hart, on WXRW 104.1 FM Milwaukee, Riverwoods Radio. Hey, once again, if you are in the neighborhood down on 824 East Center Street, make sure you stop on in and get one of those t-shirts. They got those t-shirts down there. They got those mugs. Oh man, you got to check them out. Real good people down there at Riverwoods Radio. This is our series here, our weekly series that we started about 2 weeks ago, entitled Focus That Delivers Results. We've been really touching on some very good things in this series, and today's series is entitled, today's series is series 2, the importance of goal setting. That's the subtitle. So the subtitle of Focus That Delivers Results for today is the importance of goal setting. And goal setting, it helps you to answer those questions on how do you get yourself to focus, how do you get yourself to become more productive enough to reach goals, how to be organized, okay, how do you begin to save yourself more time and money, and how do you start to feel good about yourself and your intentions. Hey, we all want to feel good. This is all about just creating an overall good quality of life for yourself. Because, you know, sometimes people think like it's all about the money, it's all about, you know, or it's all about just having more time. But really what it's all about is just being able to be happy every day and have a better quality of life. And when something bad does happen, a catastrophe that's out of your control, you can at least regulate your emotions better, at least deal with it better, and not jump off the edge or lead to all these destructive things that may be available to you in your life and in the lives of others, and then you start adopting these bad habits, or you just create a worse situation for yourself and those around you too, and just for the world. Okay, We talked about why goal setting is so important, how it just unwraps the true meaning in your life, how it helps you to discover a reason to live. It gives yourself something to do every day. It helps you to aim at something that you can reverse that may have been an ongoing problem. We talked about short-term goals and long-term goals, how short-term is maybe about a week all the way up to 3 months as far as like, you know, setting a short-term goal. It gives you instant results. They're motivating. They create good habits. Long-term goals, those are those things that are 6 months plus, all the way up into 10 years, 20 years plus. Okay, they help you to identify what your overall priorities are. It gives you a good culture of what you stand for. It helps you identify your passion, discover your higher calling if you're very spiritual. It helps those unimportant things to take a back seat that may be distracting you in the first place or giving you some grief. So we're going to end this off here today by talking about how to create a goal in the first place. There's several things to think about and some questions to ask yourself when creating a goal. And if you just locked in here and you just stumbled across this broadcast over at WXRW 104.1 FM Milwaukee, once again we are talking about focus that delivers results. This is series 2. This is a weekly series that I'm going to be doing. It's a 4-part series. We're talking about the importance of goal setting here today. This is series 2, and I'm about to end by talking about how to create a goal, things you think about, the questions you ask yourself. So the first thing you need to think about is think about what you really want to see different in yourself. What is it that you want to see different in yourself? Okay, it could be anything, really. I mean, it could be something very small as like, I don't like the way I curse. It can be something very big as, well, I don't like my appearance. I don't feel very good about myself, or I don't like some of the decisions I make. It can be anything. Think about what you really want to see different in your relationships, because sometimes when we are creating a goal, there are going to be relationships that are going to be impacted, or there may be new relationships that are created and bloomed from like the goals you set in your life. Think about what you really want to see different in the world around you. Some people just want to see things happen differently in their community or in their household or in the world, period. Okay, and if you start setting some goals, maybe you can start contributing to the changes around, you know, for some good changes to happen around you. And that's why we got so many activists nowadays because you know, there was somebody who thought about what they wanted to see different in the world. Okay, some of the laws that end up getting changed, or laws that are created, it have people who look around them and say, wow, I really want to see something different happen in the world, and then they may either lobby, or they may contribute to a campaign, or they may start doing little things in a community, you know, and start working towards social justice or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's to save the animals. It could be anything. All right, you want to ask yourself the question, start asking yourself questions too, like, you know, what future would you like? You know, what would your future be like if you can just change a few things? Okay, think about those few things you just want to change, and how your future could be, reshaped for the better, or how your future can look like and feel like. Ask yourself the question, what is giving you suffering and misery? You know, why do you feel miserable? Why do you feel like you're suffering? Okay, what is it that is plaguing or contributing to that suffering and that misery that you have in your life? And let's start working on changing it. Okay, let's start chipping away at it. You know, maybe there's something very small, like, you know, I've been taking this medication that I really want to get off, or I've been really hooked on drugs for a long time, or been an alcoholic for a long time, and, you know, if I really just start putting away the bottle a little bit more, I can alleviate some of the suffering I have. Or, you know, maybe there's something I dealt with in my childhood, and, you know, it'd be a nice little goal to set to, you know, really start getting some healing from away from that stuff. Okay? What is it? What would give you extra time and money? Okay? Or what would extra time and money give you? Okay? So think about that. So what goal can you create that can contribute to extra time and extra money that you need, or maybe lacking, or maybe never realize that you may need more of, or maybe you don't need so much time. Okay, maybe that could be the problem. Make it realistic and personal. That's the most important thing you have to do. It has to be realistic, and it has to be very personal to you. It can't be somebody else's goal. You can't be copycatting off of somebody else's goal. It can't be I want to be Superman. It can't be I want to be able to I don't know, go make $50 million tomorrow. No, it can't be something unrealistic. It can't be something that you've seen on a movie. It has to be something very real. It has to be real. Something that it can be done. Okay, something that you know that if you start working on, that you can do. No matter how challenging it seems, no matter how scary it may seem, if you really put your mind to it, that you can do it. It's real, and it's real to you. That's I just put something together right there. It has to be real, but also real to you. You know what your limits are, and if you don't know, start testing your limits. And this is where goals come in at. You begin to test your limits and what is comfortable or what is uncomfortable to you. Okay, so that's what goals really do. They really help discover the true nature of you. Then ask this last question is very important. Who in your life or in this life has made some sort of success in their life? Look around you. There's so many successes around you. I mean, although we don't know the inside intimate details of their life, but if you look at the overall picture of them, or the image they put out there, it looks very successful, it looks very fun, they look happy, and so that should inspire you to want some type of similar success in your life. Okay, you say, well, what makes them more better than me, or what is the difference between me and them? We're both human, we both got blood running through us. Okay, we both got eyes. All right, or you might have one eye, but it don't matter. If they can do it, you can do it too. And that's what I think people fall short of, is when they think that just because somebody else did it, and they begin to start comparing and say, well, okay, they got money, they got time. Well, how do you think they got there? They they didn't get there just by magic. Okay, they went through the same type of problems, or even worse of problems, or maybe compared to your problem, maybe little, but the fact of the matter is they all lived in this same reality we call life. All right, they all lived in this life, and it's evidence that it can be done, so therefore you can do it too. So don't give up, start doing it. All right, so I'm going to challenge you guys. All right, I want to challenge you right now. This is some homework for you. Everybody likes homework. This is something you can really start doing right here wherever you are. So if you right here wherever you are right now, you can begin to do this challenge. All right, and I'm telling you, it's gonna make some crazy things, some crazy good things happen for you right away. I mean, it's gonna give you a different type of feeling immediately. I want you to go and use these statements and questions that I just went over. Thinking about what you really want to see different in yourself, thinking about what you want to see different in relationships, what you want to see different in the world around you, what the future would be like if you just could change a few things, what is giving you misery or suffering, what would you do with extra time and extra money, and how can you get that, what is realistic, what is personal to you. Who in your life or in this life has made some sort of success in their life? Think about those questions right now to create 2 short-term goals and 1 long-term goal. Yes, I want you to do it. Don't be scared, but be scared. Okay? Make an easy short-term goal. So first one, an easy short-term goal. It can be, I don't want to drink coffee for the next week. Oh man, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, I don't want to do that one. That's easy though. Or is it? It is easy. Or I will reduce the number of pack of cigarettes I smoke. So if I'm smoking 2 a day, I'm gonna just stick to just 1. Okay, that's a lot of cigarettes. Or I'm not gonna go through the examples. That's for you to decide. So make an easy short-term goal and a goal that scares the living Christ out of you. the living Christ. That's pretty scary. You scare Christ out of you. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. And then make a long-term goal that when you think about it, that it gives you a lot of pleasure, but also a lot of happiness within you. Okay. Make a long-term goal that's very pleasurable, and that's going to give you some happiness right then and there. You start thinking about it like, man, my long-term goal is in the next year, I would like to have a car I'm very proud of. Don't worry about the details right now. You can be very general, very vague, but make sure it's real and make sure it's personal to you. Boy, it'd be really nice to have a business of my own. And you get to thinking about that, like it's gonna give you all type of butterflies inside. You're gonna feel so good. My son used to say when he was younger, "You're so good, Daddy. You're so good." Oh boy, I cracked myself up. And then once you do that, put it on paper. Put it on paper. You gotta make it legal, because once it's written down, it's legal. It's the law. So put it on paper. Put it on a calendar in your phone. And then tell somebody about it. Go do that. I challenge you to do that right now. And then if you still need some help with this, you want some guidance, give me a buzz. I'll help you. I got some worksheets that can give you some guidance on how to make a goal and the right sentence, and then how to put it down on paper. So if you feel like one of those people that it's got to be perfect, it's got to look right, it's got to sound right, well, and you might be struggling with it too. So you can call me. You give me a call. You can give me a buzz by email. So my email is marcushart414@gmail.com. So you can give me a call. No problem. Go to my website if you want to. realmarcushart.com. So realmarcushart.com. You can find information there on guidance on how to set these goals and what to do at your time and all that good stuff. I'm there for you. I really want to make some things happen for you in your life. I want to see you have a better quality of life. I'm here for you. So we're going to end the show right there. We'll be back on same channel, same station, WXRW 104.1 FM Milwaukee, riverwoodsradio.com/show is where you can find us at. Tell your smart speaker, hey, play Riverwoods Radio. And like I said, this is a series here. I keep on saying what this is, whatever. So this is a series, a weekly series called Focus That Delivers Results. This is series 2. Next week will be series 3. Same time, same station, same channel, WSRW 104.1 FM Milwaukee. Many blessings, peace, and lots of love. And I'm checking out of here, folks. I gotta go.
My regrets look just like texts I shouldn't send. And I got neighbors that more like strangers. We could be friends. I just need a way out of my head. I'll do anything for a way out of my head.
You are now listening to WXRW LP Milwaukee on 104.1 FM.